I decided to incorporate our family seal from the Portuguese heritage into the center of the bottle, and has an orange tone to represent the color of the sweet potato. I came up with the Corbin was to feel the story, be able to connect with, where we've come from, where we're going, and create a new chapter in that story. When I decided to come up with the name Corbin after my son, I figured it's our 5 generations, it's our heritage. He'll be the staple of the beginning of the company and pass it on to the next generation. My great-grandfather immigrated into the United States from Portugal.
See, he was born in 1901, and he came over here in 1917, so 16 or 17. He got a job up in Santa Cruz. Worked in these mines and saved his money.
I am David Souza Jr. Well, working with my grandfather and my dad, it was just kind of a natural deal after a while. You're just raised in the dirt and you learn to know what the dirt and the weather does for you. And it's in you. Some people can sell cars and some people can farm sweet potatoes. Grew up with a lot of values and things that you learn along the way that takes kids they're 30 years old before they know what we knew at 17 years old. We went from 4 acres to 640 acres today in sweet potatoes in about a 30-year period. David was like me. He was raised on the ranch, so when we left the house in the morning and school wasn't in session, he was in the pickup with me. Like I said, David's branched out to sweet potato vodka. He started about 4 years ago in his garage and played with it, cooking and trying to learn how to get it to taste just right, and he succeeded well in that in about 2 years. When he came to me and told me that he had a plan to make sweet potato vodka, and we just, he just wanted the confidence and the backing, I guess, to know that, you like to hear that you got somebody behind you, you're gonna give it a harder try.
Hi, I'm David Souza III. I started working in the field at 7 years old. Working in the watermelon fields, driving tractor by 10. By the time I was 15, they taught me how to farm, and I went partners with my grandfather. I kind of stayed focused on the farming and kind of dropped out of college to be an entrepreneur, basically. Everybody was very supportive. They probably thought I was a little crazy because I always have these big ideas. And every sweet potato is picked up and placed in the carton by hand and then taken to storage. I soon realized that the sweet potato has much less sugar and starch, and so it was a very low producer of alcohol. Trial and error and different flavors and what was smoother than and what tasted good. So when I got that perfected, that's when I started the licensing portion and get the larger distillery built. Where we do our starch and sugar conversions. And this takes upwards of 3 hours to cook. When it's completed, we have basically a sweet potato soup base. We move the sweet potato soup base over to the fermentation tank, where we add the yeast, temperature control it for up to 5 days. When the fermentation process is complete, we move over to the still. German engineered, considered some of the best quality equipment in the world. After turning the steam valve on, The pressure creates the temperature to rise to 178 degrees, which the alcohol starts to separate from the water, flows through it as a gas, drops into the bottom of the first column. Through each of these plates, it filters the alcohol, drops the water, lets it fall back into the pot. As it flows out of the first column, drops back into the second, goes through each of these plates, it reaches a higher proof till it gets to the top, coming through as a gas into the stainless chamber, which then, as a gas hits the cold liquid that's inside the stainless chamber, turns the alcohol back into a liquid, which then flows out, and you have 190 proof neutral spirit. We only do the distillation one time. We do it in a slow process, which is more than effective in creating a quality spirit. I've had strong family behind me 100% of the way. Well, my vision for the future is to create a heritage to build on from and hopefully keep the farm going and keep the alcohol business and grow them together. Our product is not only unique from the sweet potato standpoint, that it's the only sweet potato vodka, but also that where it comes from. We're one of few farms in the world that own and operate a farm and a distillery. Mostly purchase the spirit, where we actually make it from scratch. We grind the sweet potatoes, cook them, ferment them, distill, bottle, so we have complete control over the product from farm to bar top. So I like to be innovative in farming alcohol world as well, so all our products will be in small batches and created from scratch. Before German engineering, I would painstakingly cook sweet potatoes on my kitchen stove, and this thing would barely produce a half a bottle of vodka in a 12-hour period.